Welcome to the Russell Brown Show, and this tutorial that's all about working with aerial photography to create this Adobe Photoshop kaleidoscopic effect that you see here. And on top of that, we'll be adding sound to this particular project. Okay, let's get started. Let's go right over here to my original DJI Mavic footage that I captured here in California. Now check it out. I'm capturing a nice clean image from about 20 to 30 feet off of the ground. I don't have any rocks or obstructions in the view. I just have the sand and the waves. I found that this particular setup works really well for this project. You can see my one layer existing here inside of Adobe Photoshop CC. It's a short 38-second piece of video. That works great for this project. The first thing I'm going to do is go right over here to my layered document, and I'm going to right-click on this layer because I must convert my video into a smart object in order to do the kaleidoscopic effect of flipping it horizontally and vertically. I'm going to select Convert to Smart Object, just like that. Another great feature of smart objects is that you can go to the Filter menu and actually do color correction on your images inside of Adobe Camera Raw. That's amazing. In this project, I'm just going to leave this just as it is. Okay, we've just completed our first step of making this into a smart object. We're now going to duplicate this by clicking and dragging down here to the base of the Layers tabbed panel, just like that. I've got a duplicate. Now, let's flip this image. Right over here from the Edit menu and down to Transform and over to Flipping Horizontally, just like that. Now here's where the fun starts. Let's go to our mode settings here, tap on Normal, and I'm going to select Lighten because that's the one I found that works best. However, here's a great super user tip and technique. Hold down your Shift key and select your minus or plus sign from your keyboard, and you can cycle through all of the different blend modes that are possible. So don't just follow my suggestion of the lighten blend mode. You may find that one of the other blend modes will give you an even more interesting effect. Okay, back to my selection, which was of course lighten. Looks great. Let's select the play button here from the timeline window, and of course I have opened the timeline earlier before starting this project, as you can see here, so I can combine my preview and my timeline together, just like this. Check it out. This looks great. Okay, that's step number one, or maybe it's your final step because this could be your final solution. I'm going to tap my spacebar key to stop my playback. Now, let's group these together. Holding down my Shift key, I select both of them, then selecting my right mouse button, tapping on the two layers, I'm going to put them into a group, just like that. Let's call this group number one. There we go. So now we've got one group, but we want a second group in order to get that full kaleidoscopic effect. So I'm going to duplicate this second group by clicking and dragging the group down here to the base of the Layers tabbed panel, and I'm going to hold down the Option or Alt key so that my duplicate dialog appears, and I can rename this to group number 2, just like that. That is not absolutely critical, but naming your layers will lessen your confusion as you develop larger and more complex projects. Now with this second group, we'll go up to the Edit menu again, down to Transform, and we're going to flip vertically. The convenience of putting them into a group allows us the ability to flip them, as you can see here, and flip them as an entire group with the blend modes. So next, instead of selecting Pass-Through here for the blend mode, for this separate group, what do we want to choose? We want to choose Lighten. Voila, and select the play button. Now, it's running fairly slow because I'm working with the 4K video original file from my DJI Mavic Pro. When I process this, it will then run much, much faster. Okay, let's stop this because there's one more thing we want to add to this project, and that's sound. I really found that sound really makes these work incredibly well. And I happen to have an account on the website called sounddogs.com, and I've downloaded a very inexpensive sound file of some waves crashing on the beach. Let's go ahead and add an audio track. Right here from my timeline window, I'm going to add audio. I happen to have some waves right here, my SoundDog wave file. Let's go ahead and open that. I'm going to adjust the view down here at the base, right down here, so I can see all of my layers. I'm going to shorten my audio so it matches the length of my video by clicking here on the end of the audio file, dragging it to the left, and it snaps right into position. Now, if I select the play button, we'll hear the sound and see our waves in this kaleidoscopic effect. To finish this all off, of course, go up to your File menu, down to Export, and over to Render Video. In this case, I'm adjusting my size down so it'll work well on the web so I can share it with others. There you have it, a simple way to create a kaleidoscopic effect with aerial footage that you've taken, for example, in this case, with a DJI Mavic Pro. Give it a try.